My wife bought one of those mounts that she can mount up. She mounts it up on top of the headboard of the bed, so she can put her phone up there and watch
And
her
just
phone
watch it.
while
I
she's
actually was
sleep
thinking about that.
while she's sleeping. That's what I say.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, that would be kind of a cool idea. Because then I could just
Cool. Yep. All right, there we go. Yeah. So yeah, it's like I said. The next episode's called Tipping Point. So that the title has a lot implied in it, right?
yeah,
We don't know
it's
much
going
about it.
it's going down.
I actually know more spoilers about the Mandalorian than I do the Bad Batch, but
Oh, really?
yeah, I don't know if I want to tell you any of the spoilers, but I mean, we already know because they've cast them for this season. We already know that we're going to see Moff Gideon, we're going to see Ahsoka, we're going to see maybe Boba Fett, probably not. It depends. I would say they're going to you know he was popular enough that they're going to have to show him for something. But anyway,
I I think
there's a
he'll be
lot
at the.
going on. The Mandalorian too.
I think I think he'll come at the very end. I think it'll be like the last episode, the next last episode with Moff. I think there's going to be a big coming to Jesus moment between Mando and Moff.
Well, there's and it's Legends, so I don't know if that's what they're leading towards. But there's a thing where Moff Gideon wants to be the ruler of Mandalore. That's why he originally had the dark saber to start with. Um, and maybe he's going to try to take it by force. I don't know. Um, but we also know that Moff Gideon at this time was probably working for Thrawn too. Which I mean, you're not excited about Thrawn, but um, he's one of the for me he's one of the best characters that came out of Star Wars, and it oddly enough it came out of one of the animated shows, but
Yeah,
the but it's based off of a series of books. There's actually the author has written I don't know like 6 or 7 books about Thrawn.
okay.
Um, the first ones were way back when Star Wars wasn't owned by Disney, and then he redid them again after Disney so he could get them back into canon or whatever. But anyway, um, he's a very he's billed as a very cunning statistician. Yeah, something like that. He's able to think um, multiple games ahead of everybody else,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. He's
Um,
a strategic fella.
there you go. Anyway, let's push some buttons here and get started. Welcome to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room Podcast. We are here to podcast about anything and everything Star Wars with you. Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR KyleJohansson.us. That's RABR.KAILEJOHANSEN.US. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KAILEJOHANSEN.US. And now, it's time to talk Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm John Johansson, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say hello. Hello. Of course, Andrew's working hard today, or hardly working, whatever you want to say. And we've got Rick again today. So It's just me and Rick today. And today we're going to be reviewing the Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 13. I believe they said Pabu in this episode was the name of the island and everything they went to. And we're going to get started right off with some news. And the news is mostly about these transport vehicles that we've been talking about.
It's time for the news.
That was too short. Didn't have enough time to share my screen. Share sound. Okay. Here's my so this is one of them that's we probably haven't seen it in a movie or anything, but it's called a urban assault tripped transport. You can see it's got two legs, but then it's got this claw thing. And it was more of a they would sometimes use the claw to stabilize, but they would also use it to grab things, maybe crush a building with it or something. Maybe grab a person, maybe. Yeah, move stuff out of the way. It was a first order walker. And you can see the colors are a little darker and everything, meaning it's got heavier armor. It's got these weird tendons sticking out the back of it, but that's at the bottom of the feet there. And it was, of course, called a UA-TT. Central. It says it dates back to the Clone Wars, but I've never seen one of these with a claw on it like that. First Order deployed them. They used them a lot because they were smaller and not as heavy as the huge ones that they would use all the time. And it says the First Order used them during 35 after the Battle of Yavin, which is even past our timeline in the Mandalorian and stuff. It's past that. And as an example, the height is only 6.52 meters tall. So not quite as tall as the other ones. The other one was like 25 feet or something like that.
Yeah.
Or meters, I'm sorry. Length is 10 meters. Maximum speed, 90 kilometers per hour, which I mean doesn't seem realistic, but not with those awkward legs. But and it normally would only hold one crew person. Being that it was called a transport, there was room for cargo and stuff, or maybe passengers or whatever, but not much. Because as you can see, the length is only 10 meters long, which doesn't mean for very much space there. It had air-cooled repeater cannons, chin-mounted double laser cannons, and heavy blaster cannons. And we can see that big, huge, heavy blaster one sticking out up here in the picture. But that's one of them. It says it was used by the Galactic Republic, which was before the Empire started. That's what they called it, was the Galactic Republic. And then it was the New Republic, after Return of the Jedi. So there's one. There's another one here that's similar, but it actually has three legs instead of a claw. And it has a huge cannon here. You can see it, and there's another cannon on top. And it's called the All-Terrain Attack Pod. Pew pew. Sniper tank is what they nicknamed it. Like I said, you could see 3 feet, two big feet in the back and one in the front for probably just for stabilization when they were using the cannon. Because I'm pretty sure that probably has a good kickback.
We probably got a pretty good read.
Length is 15 meters. Height is 10 meters, so it's about the same height. It's a little slower, 60 kilometers per hour. Ventral heavy repeating blaster, dorsal medium laser cannon, and a heavy mass driver cannon, which I would assume is that big one.
Probably.
Mass driver. That's pretty much looks like a tank with an extra cannon on top there. But and this one took 3 people. There was a pilot and 2 gunners because it was heavily weaponized. And this was used by pretty much everybody. It was used by the Galactic Republic, the Grand Army of the Republic, which is what we had with Clone Wars, is what they called it. Galactic Empire, Imperial Army, the Alliance used it. So both sides used this type of vehicle. I can see why it looks like it's pretty heavy duty. Not much else there about it. Self-propelled artillery walker. Is what they called it. Sometimes also nicknamed, like I said, the sniper tank. And we got one more that's a little bit
Kinda
bigger.
It kind of looks like, let's see, was it Empire Strikes Back when they were on the snow planet?
Yeah,
kinda
Hoth. Kind of looks like that. Maybe I don't know. I thought most of the walkers we saw. Well, no, we did see a couple 2-legged walkers, but most of them were the big 4-legged ones.
Was that right? Or was it Hoth? Where they were
Yeah, the Snow Planet was Hoth.
where they were they were in the trenches and those like
No, you're thinking of the newer movies then. So that's great. The Salt
no
was all white, like
this was Snow because it was the
okay.
big 4-legged ones, but they had some smaller ones that were advancing too. But
Yeah, I don't know if I ever and I noticed that there was a 3-legged one. There could have been. I don't know if I noticed it though.
maybe it was 2-legged. I'm thinking of.
And most of them, the ones I saw, were 2-leg or 4-leg.
Yeah, that
But
color
I could be wrong.
too. So of course, they would color them to match whatever.
Yeah. Here's the next one. It's called a all-terrain tactical enforcer. That thing's a big badass beast.
Yeah, that looks like
It's got 4 cannons right there in the front, and then a big cannon on top.
Yeah.
It has 1, 2, 3, 6 legs.
Wow.
It's not manufactured by the same place as the other ones. There, where the other ones were manufactured, on that Kuat Drive yard, which is actually it's a that's one of the names of their factories or whatever. But they had multiple planets that they built stuff on. So
Yeah.
anyway, this one is different. This is a get out of there. Quit it. Rothan Heavy Engineering.
Huh.
Cost quite a bit of money, 300,000 credits. That thing, yeah, that's a beast. There, it's might have been used by someone else. Okay, length 22 meters. The hull is only 13 meters. Width was 5 meters. Height is 10 meters. And the hull and legs were 5.7 meters. So they were short, squatty legs, but it's a pretty big vehicle for that size.
How low is that?
20 MAD 21 heavy laser cannon turrets. There's 6 of them, and then that big massive cannon on top. I only saw 4, but I guess there could be 6 there. 1, 2, 3. There's some more somewhere else I don't see, but up to 20 passengers. Cargo capacity 40 tons. Jeez.
It's a troop transport.
Yeah, could be. It could be supplies. Could be it might be big enough to hold some weapons in there too.
True.
Maybe some small walkers. It holds 2 all-terrain reconnaissance transports, which actually we were going to talk about next week. But they're I'll show you briefly. If it'll let me do it, I'll show you a picture of it. That thing's weird looking. There's your two-legged walker, but it's kind of weird looking. Let me zoom out a little bit so we're not multiple screens.
It's like an unarmored speed, or it's kind of like the unarmored at with speed pod handles.
Yeah, not very much room in there either. The thing's pretty small.
Yeah,
2.9 meters long and 4 meters tall. Has a lot of armory. One pilot, no passengers. Anyway, I guess we could probably cross that one off the list too, since I just talked about it. But I hope that there's more information about these things. But this is all really I've been able to find about these weapons like this. There is like a book out there, like they do for all these kind of shows. Is they have the specs and the drawings of the equipment and stuff. There's a book out there, but of course it's not free. Ooh, here's another view of the thing. If I can get this video out of the way. It's a frontal view there. That's kind of scary looking, isn't it?
It's kind of like a armored beetle.
Exactly.
So those
beetle pilot,
like a thing on the front.
Yeah, which I'm going to mention it now, but we're not talking about the Mandalorian. But when they were on that ship on the Mandalorian, they were. That's the Mandalorian. There was a robot armadillo that was at the very front of the screen when they were walking through some area. Probably made us make us think it was like a rat or something, but it looked like an armadillo shell, and it had yellow beady eyes. Anyway, so those are those. Do you have any questions about those vehicles? Like I said, there's not a lot about them. Yeah, this thing here says it could hold up to 20 clone troopers, for transport. There's a lot more information here about this one. This was heavily used by the Empire. Here's a side view of it again. Yeah, it looks like it's got like a joint there in the middle, so it can kind of turn a little bit better, maybe.
Well, I only see 4 cannons on that one too.
Yeah, I've only seen 4. Maybe the other 2 are in the back. We just haven't been able to see them. That's my only other guess, but every single picture I've seen has only been 4. So I can only guess that it's because it appears 4 too on this picture. Then you got the cannon on top. Dang advertisements. You can't really see anything on this side view either.
Yeah, it just looks like 4 there too.
Yeah, I count 4. Unless they're little bitty ones, which I can kind of see something there, but maybe not.
They don't stick out quite as.
Yeah, quite as far. All right, so let's just end the news on that.
The news.
Stop sharing. Gotta go back to share again and make sure my audio is there so you can hear my funny effects. All right, so spoiler alert. That's enough. Spoiler alert, we're gonna talk about the episode, and if you haven't watched it, go watch it now or you're gonna be spoiled. So director for this Bad Batch episode was Steward Lee. Writer was Amanda Rose Munoz. The editor was Matt Michnovetz. He's been the editor in all of these so far. Cast, we had Rhea Perlman as Sid. We had Phee again. Phee Genoa Wanda Sykes, um, Lance Crowder, Mr. Innit was also also a villager was Sam Bloom, Sam Steve Bloom. I said Sam. I don't know why. We of course had Clone Force 99 in there with D. Bradley Baker, Omega, Michelle Yang, and then our two new characters that we saw. Lanya Hazard was played by Andy Allo, and Shep Hazard was played by Imara Williams. Yeah, so that's pretty much all the cast that was going through. I don't know why I hadn't updated it all the way there, but we're gonna do a commercial.
Hey, you over there. Are you a trooper? Is your armor always dirty? When do you find time to clean it? Did Rebel Scum scratch and damage it?
Yes.
Does your helmet communications keep acting up?
No.
Stop by Aaron's Armor Sparkalorium before
Okay.
1500 hours. We will wash, clean, and sanitize your armor for the next day pickup. Our patented galactically ancient secret cleaning techniques will have your armor sparkling just like a new Cerulean Y1300 freighter just off the assembly line. You will be the envy of all your friends and coworkers, from the castles on Lothal to the politicians on Coruscant to the environmentalists on Endor. For your next day service, stop by Aaron's Armor Sparkalorium. We are located in Tatooine's Mos Eisley Spaceport, directly across from Hangar 35. We will also repair and sell most parts at the best rates in the known galaxy. All services guaranteed and licensed by the Emperor himself to last a lifetime. Only at Aaron's Armor Sparkalorium.
Sparkalorium.
Imperial credits only. Helmets and boots are services are extra.
Oh, extra. Extra.
Those are
Don't tell
awesome.
anybody. Don't tell anybody it's extra.
If you're really throw them in at a discounted rate.
Yeah. Maybe we can scare up some Jawas to help you out with some discounted equipment.
You get the friend and family. Yeah.
Exactly. So our episode again is the Bad Batch season 2, episode 13, named Pabu. There we go. And it aired originally March 15th. It was 29 minutes long. And we're still in the 18 before the Battle of Yavin, which we were in last week. So that means it's time to grab your favorite beverage and pull up a chair and join us in the Rebel Alliance briefing room. Yay. Oh, cheers. All right. So we start out the episode at a cantina. They're at a bar with a underage girl, Omega. Yeah. Omega and Phee meet up with Lance Crowder and his associates to purchase a tree-shaped artifact.
Nothing bad is at a bar.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was interesting because didn't we see this artifact in the last episode that Phee was in? She had a picture of it or something. I don't know.
Or she mentioned something like she was looking for it. So
maybe. Crowder insists that they pay first, and Genoa insists checking that's not a knockoff. When Crowder notices Omega and asks if she works alone, Genoa explains that she is teaching Omega the art of negotiation. Crowder offers drinks, but Genoa refuses, dismissing it as a poison. Why would they poison her? Genoa says that he is impressed, but secretly releases a Kunhan under the table. And we're supposed to believe, I've read some other write-ups, we're supposed to believe that Kunhan is the same thing that was released, what was that? Revenge of the Sith, when they put it, the droid put it in the window through, what's her name's, Padme's bedroom. Remember?
Yeah.
Those little slithery things. We're supposed to
Yeah.
believe that this is the same type of thing.
Okay.
And they're supposed to be highly poisonous. Dang, I don't know why it's doing this. My browser, since I zoomed in, every page I open up's 300%. Yeah, so it says Kunans are also known as Emindu Kunas, were small multi-leg arthropods from the jungle planet of Umandu that were able to deliver deadly venom to their victims. As the venom was typically lethal, they were sometimes employed by assassins to kill their targets. So that's the history of that.
That's a
Hunter
no.
senses something. He's like, "Oh, something's going on. My spidey senses are tingling."
My
And my clone senses, yeah.
clone.
Omega responds that Genoa is not a pirate, but a liberator of ancient wonders. When Lanse calls her a pirate, uh, Genoa agrees with Hunter. Well, agrees while Hunter plays a game of sabak with Bith, which is one of the people in the bar. He grabs Bith's hand before he reaches for a card because he sees that Bith is cheating, I guess. And seconds before the Kunan can pierce Genoa's neck, he throws his knife and impales the creature against the wall. Dun, dun, dun. Crowder's helmeted henchmen raise their blasters at Hunter. How dare you stop me from killing somebody? How dare you?
Nothing bad could happen.
No. Crowder thinks that he has the upper hand, but Genoa reveals that Hunter is not the sole muscle. Wrecker fights and takes out several of Crowder's henchmen, triggering a gunfight. Omega joins the gunfight and fires her energy bow at Crowder and his men. She grabs the artifact and shoots down the hanging ceiling lamp over Crowder. Meanwhile, Tech is playing a game with himself. Oh, while Gonki serves as the board. Hunter requests a pickup, and Tech readies the Marauder. Genoa and the clones escape by using smoke bombs to disorient Crowder and his gang. They escape the cantina and flee aboard the Marauder. Crowder's henchmen pursue, but they are unable to bring down the Marauder while traveling through hyperspace. Omega and Wrecker describe the heist as a successful mission. Genoa is impressed with Omega, while Hunter says that her training is paying off. Genoa suggests that Omega needs to learn other skills apart from being a soldier to mix with friends her own age who are not also her genetic profile. She's hanging out with clones too much. Tech says that he does not see an issue with that. What's wrong with hanging out with the other clones? I don't get it. Just then, the Bad Batch receive a transmission, and it's a message from Sid, who complains that their absences past 20 cycles that has cost her a few scores. She reminds them of their mutually beneficial arrangement and that she knows their secrets. Genoa remarks that the clones had not mentioned cutting ties with Sid. Hunter describes their arrangement with Sid as not being mutually beneficial. Genoa agrees and describes Sid as a useful ally, but not as someone they want to cross. Uh-oh.
Whoops.
That could be bad. Since the Bad Batch lack a plan of what to do next, Genoa takes the lead and convinces the clones to travel to a new set of coordinates. The Bad Batch arrive at an idyllic terrestrial world with oceans and forests and fly the Marauder to an island called Pabu. Genoa describes Pabu as a hidden sanctuary and takes the clones to the Archeum, a repository for treasures from all over the galaxy. Genoa plans to deposit their liberated artifact there. Tech informs her that his scans indicate that the artifact has little monetary value, but Genoa contests that it has all value. It's not all the value that's monetary. She explains that the villagers in Pabu are refugees, and many of their artifacts are remnants of their cultures. Genoa is greeted by a dark-skinned human man named Shep Hazard, the mayor of Pabu, who is accompanied by his daughter Lyana Hazard. Uh, and Lana addresses Genoa as Auntie Phee. Auntie Phee, Auntie Phee. So glad to see you. Genoa gives the green tree artifact. Uh, gives her the green tree artifact before introducing them. She introduces Hazard and Lana to the Bad Batch, and Lana tells Omega that Genoa has never brought friends before, leading Lana to assume that she must like the clones. Oh, they must like. Genoa invites the clones to attend a feast, promising that there will be lots of food and celebration. I think that's where Wrecker says, "Oh, I like this place. Lots of food. I've been hungry." While Genoa puts away the artifact, she and the clones accompany Mayor Hazard and Lana on a walk of the island city, which is built by the sea. Lana takes a liking to Omega and invites her to see the city up close. Hazard explains that the upper Pabu is the oldest part of the island. As they grew over years, they expanded over the wall onto lower Pabu. Um, Hazard is greeted by an elderly resident name of Mr. Eenta, who tells the mayor that Sari and Micah are doing well. Oh, yeah, that's the elderly guy. I didn't even think about that. When Wrecker asks if Hazard knows everyone here, Hazard describes it as a community and a family. He invites the Bad Batch to his home where they encounter several Samayan Munoz, which I think that's a food. Nope, those are those little monkey things. Munoz are creatures that inhabit the island of Pabu. Uh, yep, that's all it says. Little monkey creatures. Monkeys. Lana says that the elders say the Munoz lived here before Pabu was settled. Omega plays with one of the menus and laughs, prompting Tech to remark that he hasn't heard Omega laugh like that in a long time. Aw, that's so sweet. Hunter asks Hazard to explain that Pabu is home to refugees fleeing the war and other conflicts. Uh-oh. Um, Hunter says he's worried about the Galactic Empire showing up, and Hazard uh, says that the Empire would have no interest in a remote island with limited resources, but adds that they will try to manage. Hazard tells Hunter that many come to Pabu to start afresh with a clean slate. Believing Hunter to be Omega's father, he thinks that Pabu would be a great place to raise a child, and Genoa asks Hunter to consider staying on Pabu permanently. Which they shouldn't really do that because they know that no matter what they do, the Empire's going to find them.
Gonna track them down.
Well, I think they all have, GPS chips in them
Yeah.
that show their location. Unless they remove those when they remove the inhibitor chip. But I've always heard that the chip is like in their neck or something, their back of their neck.
Yeah.
While Omega and Lana play with the Munoz, Genoa tells the Bad Batch that they will benefit from stability. Later, the clones, Genoa and Hazard, share a feast of rolls. Lana invites Omega out for a boat ride. Uh-oh. And Hunter tells her to have fun. Go ahead, have fun. After the children depart... What? Go ahead.
They were gonna go see the sunset.
Yeah. Go out on the water and see the sunset or something, right?
Sunset, middle ocean, on an island, nothing.
Not much.
First experience. No,
Yeah.
nothing.
All right. Wrecker tells Hunter that he is full. I've never felt full before. I think is what he said. Tech
Yep.
describes the feast as a memorable date. Hazard serves his guests with a platter of fruits, prompting Wrecker to remark that he loves Pabu. I love this place.
He's not full anymore.
Yeah.
He found one.
Always have room for dessert. Always got room for dessert.
Dessert.
Yeah. So at the wharf, Lana leads Omega aboard a motorized boat, and they sail into the sunset. Oh, that's like a romantic thing or something, huh? Omega enjoys the breeze. She's like, let it blow through my hair.
Look at my hair.
Yeah, whoa. She explains that she spent most of her life surrounded by the ocean, but tells her it was nothing like this. Omega tells Lana that she left her home because of the Empire. When Lana says that she and her friends can stay as long as they want, Omega explains that they never stay someplace very long. Lana asks if she gets lonely, prompting Omega to reply that she never really thought about it. Well, she's got her brothers, I guess, so they keep her company.
Yep.
Whatever.
They're always
back-
some. They don't have any downtime, so they're always constantly on the go.
Pretty much. I mean, that's their MO, right? That's how they operate.
Yep.
Back at the Hazard home, Genoa introduces the Bad Batch to the Pabu sunset. The city's lights come on at night, lighting up the island. The clones drink a beverage as the sun sets. Genoa senses that Hunter is tense and warns that something is coming as the ground begins to shake. Uh-oh, earthquake. Meanwhile, Lana and Omega sense the tremor at sea and begin their return to Pabu. Hunter contacts Omega via comlink. Says, hey, what's up? Omega. Tells them to return to shore as soon as possible. Hazard reassures her guest that it's a small tremor. But before long, they experience another larger tremor. Uh-oh. That's not good. This is where they start talking about tsunami and waters receding and stuff. Tech warns that Pabu is vulnerable to a sea surge. Hazard responds that they do not haven't experienced a sea surge for more than 3 decades. Just then, the island's hazard warning system comes to life. Uh-oh. As the ground and buildings begin shaking again. The residents take shelter. Tex advises Hazard to evacuate lower Pabu since the tide is receding. When Hazard reminds them that Omega and Lana are out on the water, Hunter says that he will set out on the Marauder and to evacuate them, and the other clones help with evacuating the residents to higher ground. Meanwhile, Lana and Omega's boat is pulled out to sea by the waves. They're getting receded with the tide. Also, the two jump before their boat collides with the rock formation. Elsewhere, Hazard works with the clones and Genoa to evacuate the residents of Lower Pabu to higher ground. Omega and Lana land on top of a rock formation. Omega wakes Lana up. She thought for a moment there she wasn't going to wake up, too. I thought. She's like, Lana, wake up. Though the tide was... She was just faking it, right? Though the tide has receded, the two spot the giant wave approaching the island. Omega contacts Hunter, who tells her to keep her locator on, that he is on the way. And the water's receded enough that they are able to run across the ground to Pabu. With residents fleeing up the stairs, Tech warns that there will not be enough time to evacuate everyone. Genoa proposes lowering the rescue ladders to enable more people to evacuate. He and Genoa use the grappling cable to reach the top of the battlements. Since the mechanisms for the ladders are rusted, they have to manually release them. This enables more citizens to climb up to safety. Wrecker and Hazard also find Mr. Intra, who is with the former carrying of the elderly man to safety. Hunter departs the Marauder and flies towards the sea to rescue Omega and Lana. Omega encourages Lana to run. Hunter flies above them and uses the retractable line to evacuate them before the ocean waves catch up with them. Wrecker carries the old man up a rescue ladder with the mayor Hazard following him. The ocean waves sweep through the lower Pabu, engulfing the city. After depositing the old man, Wrecker pulls Hazard to safety before the waves hit the ladder. Omega and Lana wave from the Marauder. Hey, Wrecker, what's up? The ocean waves devastate much of lower Pabu, and many residents are rendered homeless. As a result of the tsunami, Mayor Hazard is relieved that they managed to evacuate everyone to safety. Peck thinks that it will take several rotations to rebuild lower Pabu. Hazard responds that his people are resilient. Hunter offers to stay and help with the rebuilding of lower Pabu, and Tech agrees. And as Hazard welcomes the Bad Batch and their help. And we get credits. Yay, show's over.
They just needed the streets cleaned. That's all it was.
Problem. Well, with the Bad Batch, it'll probably go quicker too. But when they say rotations, that's rotations of the planet, so that's like a whole year, right?
Well, yeah, but depending on how close they are to the sun, a rotation could be, hours, days, weeks, months, years.
It's true. It's true. Very true. I was gonna pull up something because I missed it.
Because Sid said 20 rotations, so
yeah, they've been gone for 20 rotations.
20 days, 20 weeks. What are we talking?
Yeah, I would say 20. It's got to be more than days, right? Because we've changed our time on the timeline right now. We're in 18 instead of 19.
Yeah,
which we were 2 episodes before. We changed time when we had the Crosshair episode. It's got to be quite a while. It can't be 20 years though. That's too long.
Months, maybe.
Months, yeah, maybe months. I thought I had a question of the week for this. Maybe I do. I just have it hidden somewhere. I think the question of the week was nothing good. Nope, that's the wrong one. Where am I at? Okay. Episode 13. Here we go. Nope, I hadn't made a question. I made a question for the Mandalorian, but not for this one yet. But I mean, I guess it's kind of obvious. The question is how long do you think the Bad Batch is going to stay on Pabu?
That's what I was going to say. The guess would be how long do they stay? Do they stick around and help rebuild and stay for a while after that, or do they just rebuild and go, or do they even not stick around to rebuild?
Yeah, I think they probably do as much as they can, but I'm going to be willing to bet that, like I said before, that someone's going to find them. Because we know there's several big players here that are actually looking for him. We've got that clone commando Scorch that's after him.
Yep.
To do with Dr. Hemlock and stuff, and then of course we've got the other big general guy. That's always evil for us.
Admiral Rampart.
Yep, him. And then of course,
I think it'll be Crosshair.
Of course, the Emperor's still around too. He hasn't been killed yet. So I think that's the obvious question, and I think like I said, I think they're going to get found out. So they may get through building most of it, or it's going to be, oh, you guys are on the path to, just a few more weeks and you'll have everything done, and they're going to have to leave.
Yeah, or we go back to Sid, saying it's been 20 rotations, and Sid tracks him down.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that too, but it's very possible that since Crosshair is captured at the cloning facility, it's also possible that Crosshair may try to reach out too.
Oh, true.
Because he's like, life or death situation right now, pretty much, right? I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't think they're gonna help him at all, or what. But I would, it's a possibility. I think.
Well, that's a really plausible idea that he reaches out and they go to rescue him, and he decides that he's no longer gonna be by himself. He wants to be back with the batch.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of convincing for them to come out, though, since the way he's treated them. But yeah, I can see that. I can see he at least contacts them, or then maybe somebody traces the communication and finds the Bad Batch through that. I don't know. It could be that too.
Much convincing for them to accept him back into the fold is what you think. I think Omega will grease those wheels.
Well, kind of like what I said, they know that the Camoan doctor has a soft spot for Omega.
Yep.
So they're out to try to find her. So, it's very possible. Like I said, he tries to contact him, maybe through Rex or something. I don't know what, but they eventually figure out where they're at. At least the cloning people, because she's actually pretty valuable, because she is original DNA that hasn't been, degraded.
Yeah.
She's original, just like Boba was.
True.
Which makes her very valuable to the cloning people. But we find out they make a Grogu, so maybe I don't know. Anyway, we got that. Let's do this button.
Feedback at KyleJohansson.us. That's feedback, KAILE.
Oh, I pushed the other button. Stop it. So we didn't really get any feedback. We did get feedback, but it's I think Scott playing around or somebody playing around. But it says basically it says I like. That's the only feedback that's there. So saying that, you can email us at feedback@KyleJohansson.us. Go to the website, and on the left hand side, there's a link for feedback, and you can click that and fill out the form, just like this person here did that sent us something. Very brief feedback there they sent. We don't care what it is. We prefer you have something we can discuss, but anything helps.
They said they liked. That's a positive.
Yeah.
Could have been
like
worse.
you.
Could have said
Like you.
Like you suck.
Yeah, exactly. We also have the question of the week, which we talked about this week is, how long does the Bad Batch stay on Pabu? There is a comment section underneath the question where you can explain your answer, or, maybe your answer isn't on the list or whatever. You can say it down there in the comments. We're on Twitter at super_duper_pod. And of course, these videos go up on YouTube, and there's comments there. And I want to mention that Spotify now has video also, and they allow comments and everything on their videos and everything too. They have a new thing that's called Interact, where you can put comments in. You can. It says, if you have suggestions or contradictions, please let us know. What do you think of this episode? So if you have comments based on that, there's also a section there for polls too. But I kind of want to keep the polls all in one place, because YouTube has the same thing. I can put polls up there too, but I don't want to maintain them in 3 places. I just want to maintain them in one place. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what the website's there for. But for feedback, we'll take it anywhere you can find that we can get feedback to, because we're desperate. I do have a free phone line that is a Google Voice phone line, but I'm not ready to use that yet because just because. But maybe in the future we can have voicemails or something like that too. And through the email you can always send us a video feedback if you want to. Or post something up on YouTube and send us a link to your comments or whatever you've got to do. We'll take as much of that feedback as you can give us. Feedback. All right. So anything else about the episode, Rick?
Nope. I think
Getting
this
close. Close on time.
Transitionary, and I think we're gonna start seeing some excitement, some good stuff.
Yeah, like I said, the next episode 14 is Tipping Point. 15 and 16 come out on the same day, March 29th, and that's the Summit and Plan 99.
Yeah, I think next is going to be a teaser week. I think they're going to do something and they're going to leave us hanging. And then, boom, we're going to have 2 episodes back to back. There's just going to be go, 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 go.
That's probably right.
And then we'll have to wait and wait and wait.
Yeah. Over a year, probably.
Yeah.
So I didn't mention it during the news and whatever, but they're pretty much set that Ahsoka is going to be in the fall, and we've got the Skeleton Crew possibly. They're not sure if it's going to be this year or next year, and then there's that one I told you about, the Acolyte. That one's supposed to be coming out, and then there's the Young Jedis or whatever I think is what they're called. Mm-hmm. That one's supposed to be, and that's one that they're going to release. I think I saw they just changed the date to April 26th. They're going to release all eight episodes at one time. Yeah, I think it's just going to be some one-off short stories kind of thing. It's not going to be a serial series type of thing. So
yeah, connected in a little bit.
It could be. I don't know. It's just they don't normally release them all like that unless it's individual episodes or whatever. But there's quite a bit coming out, and quite a bit going to be next year too. So I think next year is going to be crowded. There's going to be some stuff that we're going to have to wait more than a year before we get new episodes on.
Yeah.
So obviously the Mandalorian is their cash cow right now. So we'll probably see quite a bit of that next year. But Bad Batch, I don't know. We had to wait 2 years last time, so.
And a lot of overlap between the Mandalorian and some other stuff, I imagine, too, so that they can keep it kind of in the spotlight. Hey, man, I got to take off, so.
Yep.
You finish up, and I'll catch you guys later.
Yep. See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast.
Please visit our website where you can play current and past episodes. That's https://RABR.KyleJohansson.us. That's RABR.KyleJohansen.us. On the left-hand side is a navigation menu. You can use this to learn how to load the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room podcast on your Android or Apple phone and tablet. And we have direct links to our podcast on Apple and Google Podcasts. Please participate by connecting to our social media, answering questions of the week, or submitting feedback directly from the site. Again, all of these are available at the Rebel Alliance Briefing Room website at RABR.KyleJohansen.us.
This podcast in no way is approved, sponsored, or owned by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. All opinions are solely owned by Kyle and or Scott and in no way express the views or opinions of their past or present employers. Views and opinions are not supported or restricted by Lucasfilms Ltd., Disney, Disney Plus, or any of its subsidiaries. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or any or other use of this podcast and its affiliate sites without consent of Super Duper Podcast Network and its host is prohibited.
It is.
I am Kyle John Hansen, and this is Andrew Scott Sutton. Say goodbye now.
Goodbye. No, Andrew, and you saw Rick split real quick there. He's got to go take somebody to the airport, I think. So we're going to call it a day. Thanks.